Hello, people. It is I, and we're doing Daggerheart today. I'm excited. I've got the limited edition box right in front of me. I've had this for like 4 days, and I have looked through it. But we're going to be doing some Daggerheart today. I also have a thing, and you will see it when we switch. So let's switch. Where is it? There it is. Hello. Hi, it's me. It's me. Look at me. Ah, I'm all anime and sick. Oh my god, I have like 3 different versions of the screen currently on my screen. That is crazy. Okay. Put my phone away. Okay. This is Daggerheart. Look at it. It's Daggerheart. It's the limited edition Daggerheart. We have it right here. Oh my god. Hand stream. Yeah, this is my hands. What's up, man? It's good to see people. Oh my gosh. Oh, and you can see part of my screen as well. Look, you can see it. You can see how many views it looks like. It looks to me like we have. Tasty Daggerheart. Yes, exactly. I am gonna have to move it like this so that I can open it, and you know, it'll be difficult to see just because the way I have my camera set up. Originally I had it on top of my monitor and then it was just looking down, but that was really difficult to show you things. So I was like, okay, well, I have to put it on a tripod over here. Can't put it here on the desk so that it, you know, it's not a very big desk. So not much I can do about that. And just like our last tabletop stream where I was making a character, we have Tavern Master music in the background. So yes. Hello there, what's up, Banana? This is not a flattering angle on me. I feel like I look ridiculous. Anyway, it's fine. Also, you can see all the crinkles in my shirt. It's a t-shirt. I don't have to... Okay, anyway, it's fine. We've got Daggerheart, the special edition. Spike is real, I'm real. And look, I'm a person too. Look, it's new me. I do have other versions of me as well. I have like me a bit sad. Hold on, let me see. Oh, you don't need to see VideoTube. I have me being a bit sad. Oh, you can see the green screen. Oh, whatever, it's fine. And then you've got me with a thing and me being a bit sad with a controller. Sick. Anyway, we're just gonna keep it on the normal one. There's my thing. Okay. Just today it's all about what the fuck is the phrase I'm looking for? Peeking behind the curtain a little bit. You get to see me without a green screen as well. Okay, anyway. We are Daggerhearting today. So I got this like 4 days ago. It officially releases today. I think technically I'm a few hours early. I hope they don't mind. But like it's 1 PM here in the UK, so Spike pointing at Spike, multiverse is full of surprises. Yes, it is. It is, isn't it? But yes. I hope they don't mind me doing this a few hours early, technically. I think because LA is like a good few hours behind the UK, so I hope they don't care. But if you're watching this and you do not have the Daggerheart limited edition, or you don't have Daggerheart, you're going to get a few spoilers from this. I was initially on release day, which is today. We're supposed to be getting like a PDF with the... like a PDF of the main book, and the character sheet PDFs is meant to be on the Daggerheart website. It's not there yet. So I was initially going to write it down all on a PDF that you could see on screen. So yeah, I don't really know how I'm going to write the character sheet, because there are character sheets in this. The limited edition came, I'll show you in a minute, but the limited edition came with like a rip sheet of character sheets. But there's only one of each character sheet, and they've got a special one for every single class. I don't know that I want... I haven't, like, photocopied them. I don't know that I want to use the original that's in this. Because it's just so cool. Once you use it once, you can't unuse it. And I don't know if I'm going to be using this character in an actual campaign. Most likely not, because I feel like I'm the only one in my TTRPG group who's got Daggerheart, and I will likely end up being the DM if we do play Daggerheart. Just because I don't think Adam is going to be playing it. I really don't think so. But yeah, I don't know. So I don't want to use the character sheets if I don't know that I'm going to be using the character, if you know what I mean. So I don't know what I'm going to do in terms of writing things down, but the good thing about Daggerheart is that actually you've got these cards and we can just decide what cards I'm going to have and then just write down what cards it's going to be for each one. I have a couple of ideas and I need help picking what to do, but yeah. Watch the D&D Shorts video on Daggerheart's open beta. Yeah, I watched a lot of open beta stuff. I watched the Menagerie mini campaign that they did. It was meant to be a one-shot. It was not a one-shot. That was sick. But they've changed a few things. When you look at the website, there's a frequently asked questions, an FAQ section, and they have a bit where they're like, how has it changed since the open beta? And part of what's changed is some of the core mechanics. Things like the action tracker has changed. Things like about how you get damage has changed ever so slightly. It doesn't have a minimum cap that it needs to reach to get minor damage anymore. I think you always get minor damage. I don't know if it hits. Yeah. Funnily enough, today a friend of mine called me to try playing D&D for the first time this weekend. Saw the rulebook, 310 pages. Oh, God's help me. You don't actually have to read all 310 pages, and it's not a rulebook. So the player's handbook just helps you out. Sorry, there's something on my screen. The player's handbook just helps you out in terms of making a character. Most of the information in there is not going to be relevant to you. Only the information relevant to you is are the stuff relevant to the character that you're making. So if you're making a monk, you don't have to be looking at the rogue stuff. You don't have to be looking at the fighter stuff if you're making a monk, right? If you're making a tiefling, you don't have to look at the human stuff. You don't have to look at any of the other stuff. You only have to look at the stuff relevant to your character. So don't worry too much about it. And honestly, your DM should be going over the rules with you anyway, so you shouldn't have to read it front to back. The actual starter set of rules is only 40 pages long. So look at the starter set. It is a lot easier. Probably going to be doing a couple P5 runs while you're streaming. Only done 2 attempts so far. Fair enough. And you got to fucking Pure Vessel? Are you kidding? That's annoying. Man. Okay, anyway, without further ado, I'll get my phone out of it. That's not out of frame. Okay. There we go. Without further ado, let's open up Daggerheart Limited Edition. Pure Vessel, then mark off. My God, man. Okay, my microphone is kind of attached to my desk directly, so I might not have a lot of room here. I might have to move my mic back, but you kind of have to hear me, so I don't know. But let's look at this. If you look at the front cover, right, that's their version of a tiefling. I forget what they're called. I think Infernus or something, right? You've got the ribbit. The ribbit is so cute and adorable. You've got a clank right here. And something else like a human or an elf or something there. But like, look at the clank. I really like the clank. Time for hearting the dagger, or daggering the heart, surely. Quick focus is goated, what can I say? Quick focus, really? I mean, you do you, my guy, but I can't live without Shaman Stone and quick nail, quick slash. Oh wait, I'm back. Wi-Fi decided to do a backflip. Yeah, I figured. It's okay, it happens. Okay, let's open up Daggerheart Limited Edition. Ah, okay. So this is what you see when you first open Daggerheart, right? So the first thing you get is this rip pad of character sheets. And you'll notice I said that there's only one of each one, right? Because they've got one for each character. So this is a blank one at the front. But then if you look at the top, this one is for a bard. And it says Grace and Codex. That has to do with how the characters are created. I'll go through it later. But then there's one for Druid. There's one for Guardian. I just hit the mic. I'm so sorry. There's one for Ranger. There's one for every single one, right? You've got Rogue, Seraph, Sorcerer. We might be doing a Sorcerer or a Druid today. Warrior. I haven't actually decided, though. Wizard. And then you've got the character guides. So there's character guides for each one. And then some people have extra sheets. So if you're a ranger, if you're a ranger, you can be basically a Path of the Beast ranger, and you can have stuff like that. And so that has an extra character sheet in there. But there's all of this, and there's basically pretty much one of each. And then there's maps in the back as well. This rip pad of sheets, I do not want to touch. I genuinely don't want to touch it. So I don't know how I'm going to be writing down my character sheet, but yeah, I'm just going to leave that on my bed. I sought Shaman for quick focus. Why? Shaman is so good. So far, my idea for first character, a warlock with an archfey patron. I'm so screwed. No, that's good. Warlocks are sick. I've never played a warlock, but they are sick. Okay, the next thing in this book, in this box, is this. And when you flip it out and you open it up, it is a DM screen. I can't show the whole thing, but it's a DM screen. And on the inside, the DM screen, it has like a bunch of like quick look at some of the rules and all that jazz, which is really cool. But it's a DM screen, so super cool. Tasty DM screen, exactly. Lets you heal during certain hard fights, white defender, pure vessel, etc. Sure, but if you could kill them quicker, you don't need to heal. I don't know. You got further than me, so I can't really be judging. Okay, and then this is the money maker right here. This is the rule book. Let's take a look at this, shall we? Okay. Okay, so we have the contents right here. I can't really flip it around. I mean, I guess I can. I can do that. I'm not gonna show you guys everything because, you know, obviously this is a limited edition book. I want it to stay limited edition and not have people copy everything, but there's different chapters and you don't have to read the whole thing. So don't be intimidated. Most of this, if we compare this to Dungeons and Dragons, this is kind of like the player's handbook and the DM's guide all in one for Daggerheart. So you have like preparing for adventure, which you've got these. Okay, let me read you out. You've got introduction, which is welcome to Daggerheart. Using this book, what do you need to play, player principles, and a table for all. Then you've got chapter 1, preparing for adventure, which has the world overview, a look at character creation, an example character, domains, all of your classes, ancestry, community, and additional player guidance. That is what we're going to be looking at. Pretty much exclusively is chapter 1. The rest of these chapters, playing an adventure, running an adventure, adversaries and environments, campaign frames, and the appendix. All of these, except for the appendix, all of this is like stuff for the DM, really. Playing an adventure is obviously going to tell you how the game works, so you might want to read that. Especially to do with like the core mechanics, like the duality dice and stuff, but you do not need to read this whole thing. Absolutely not. You do not have to read the whole thing, depending on if you're a player or a DM. You might want to read the whole thing if you're a DM, but I'm certainly going to read the whole thing. But yeah, this is the introduction and all that jazz. From what I can tell from what I've read, it is definitely more of a narrative-focused TTRPG, which is sick. What's up? What's up, Jay? It's good to see you. Oh, yes, we're just opening up everything and we're showing it. Okay, so before I show you what is underneath, because there's another thing underneath, I don't know if people saw. Oopsies. But there is another thing underneath here. Before I show you that, we're just going to read a bit about how the game works, about creating a character, because it is slightly different. Is that the Tabermaster music in the background? Yes, it is. So I want to do a chaotic character, but I can't decide if I want to make comic relief or power obsessed monster. So many possibilities. Talk with your DM. Talk with your DM and discuss what would be best for the people that you're playing with and for the story that they want to tell. You don't have to do all of the decisions yourself. Okay. Let's look at the character creation. Okay. Okay, first step of Daggerheart is create your character. In addition to choosing the class, community, and ancestry, you're also responsible for crafting their physical appearance, personality, and prior experience, as well as their relationships with the other characters. Some of these decisions are purely narrative, meaning they only appear in the game through your role-playing, but others are mechanical choices that affect your actions you're more or less likely to succeed at when you're rolling your dice. And then this has all of the classes, with all of the subclasses as well. So I'm not going to go through every single one of them. Good times. Yeah, it really was good times, right? Oh, man. I do miss Tavern Master. I did say I was going to go back for the Tavern Master winter special during the winter, but I was so caught up with Hollow Knight and stuff that I just didn't do it. But I don't know. Maybe during the summer, I'll do the pirate one, because Tavern Master has a pirate one, lads. Anyway, funny enough, half of our group will be first timers, LMAO. Gods give more patience for our future DM. Lol. So out of all of these subclasses, I'm looking at the elemental stuff, and there's only 2 elemental stuff. There's Druid, Warden of the Elements, and there's Sorcerer, Elemental Origin. I don't know which one I want to play. I genuinely don't know which one I want to make. Man. But there's also all of these other stuff, which is really cool as well. Pirate Tavern Master sounds epic. I know! I really want to try it. I really want to try it. Oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about the ranger over here. It says Beastbound. If you want a deep bond with an animal ally, and then you get an extra character sheet for your beast, which is really cool. But I think I'm going towards Druid, Warden of the Elements. I think that's what I want to do. And I think I want a clank. So a clank is the robot guys in this book. So I don't want to show everything in here. I don't want to give everyone a free limited edition book. Whoopsies. I don't know how it works. There we go. Okay, so we choose a class. I think the first thing is we choose a class, right? Yeah. So step 1 is choose your class and a subclass. So let's go with Druid, Warrior of the Elements. Let's do that. Tasty Warforged. I don't think they're Warforged. I think they're just robots. I want a deep bond with anime allies. Is that why you're friends with me? Is that why you're here? Anyway. Okay. Ooh. So I need to read this part. So you're just gonna look at the back of this for a second while I read. Okay, once you've chosen your class, grab the corresponding character sheet and character guide. Then decide on a subclass and take that subclass's foundation card. The character sheet is for your recording your character's details, so make sure you have a paper or digital copy available. If you're filling out a hard copy, use a pencil, as you'll change details on the sheet as your character levels up. You can find a completed character sheet in the upcoming example character section. Customized character sheets and character guides are available for download at daggerheart.com. A general character sheet is also available in the appendix. So they're not actually out yet. I already checked. I don't know if they release at 8 AM London time, LA time or something, but they're not available right now, which makes me feel like I'm a few hours early. Whoopsies. Okay. Record your level 1, record character details, class feature. Every class begins with a unique class feature or several. You don't have to write these features down. They're provided at the bottom left of each class's character sheet. These are features available only to your class. If your class features ask you to make a selection during character creation, make it before your first session. Right, okay. Then you choose your heritage. This aspect of your character includes 2 elements, their ancestry and their community. So your ancestry is basically your race, or your species, right? So you've got Clank, Dracona, Dwarf, Elf, Fairy, Faun, Furbolg, Fungrill, Galapa, Giant, Goblin, Halfling, Humans, Infernus, Katari, Orc, Ribbit, and Simia. Simia? Then you choose your community. So these are like your backgrounds. So highborn, lawborn, orderborn, ridgeborn, seaborn, slyborn, underborn, wanderborn, wildborn. Then you pick your languages. Okay, so now, okay, I have picked. I think I'm going to be... I think I'm going to be a clank druid. I think that's really interesting concept. Hold on. Put the book over there for a second. And we're going to represent this. Whoopsies. With this thing. Let me grab it. So, here, we also get access to, in the limited edition, we get access to all of these sick cards. We also have these things, which are like tokens, and we get dice. We'll look at them in a bit, right? So let's look at this. So over here, we have all... So this is how we pick things like our ancestry and our classes and our powers and spells if we have them, right? So these are all numbered. I've already gone through them and put them in order because they were kind of out of order. I don't know why, but I don't know that this will be able to focus, but at the very bottom, it says DH, so Daggerheart, core, 001 out of 270. So there's 270 cards. And so these beginning cards, let me see. So Seraph, Sorcerers, Warriors. Let me see if I can grab all of the subclass cards. There we go. So these are all of the subclass cards. So each subclass, let me take Troubadour as an example because it's right at the top. So a Troubadour Bard. If you pick a Bard and you pick Troubadour, this is the foundation card. You have a specialization card and you have a mastery card. So you'll pick these cards, you'll put it with your character sheet somewhere, either in like a, you know, one of those things where you can keep cards in or whatever, or like just next to you. And this will tell you everything that you get. So it's not actually in the book, it's on these cards. So yeah, it tells you a spellcaster trait. A Troubadour Bard is a gifted performer. Describe how you perform for others. You can play each song once per long rest. Relaxing song, you and your allies within close range clear a hit point. Epic song, make a target within close range temporarily vulnerable. And heartbreaking song, you and all allies within close range gain a hope. So yeah, so it tells you all of your stuff. So you just have these available to you on the table as you play. And yeah, I don't really know what specialization or mastery means. I'm guessing they're just cards you get at different points at leveling up. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so then you've got three. So you've got your foundation, your specialization, and mastery card for every single subclass right here. Every single class and subclass. And this is how many there are. So this is all of the subclass cards that you'll ever need in this game. For the core stuff, at least. I assume they'll come out with new stuff. So, for my character, the class that we're doing is Warden of the Elements. So that is actually right here. So we've got Warden of the Elements. So we'll take that out. We'll take the foundation only, because we're only making a level 1 character. But Warden of the Elements. So let me read that one out. Elemental Incarnation. Mark a stress to channel one of the following elements until you take severe damage or until your next rest. Fire. When an adversary, so an enemy, within melee range deals damage to you, they take 1d10 magic damage. Earth. Gain a bonus to your damage threshold equal to your proficiency. Oh, really? Interesting. Water. When you deal damage to an adversary within melee range, all other adversaries within very close range must mark a stress. Ooh, interesting. Air. You can hover, gaining advantage on agility rolls. Okay, wait, hold on. So, channel one of the following elements until you take severe damage. So you don't have to pick one. You just You don't have to pick one for the entire playthrough. You can just pick one every time you want to use Elemental Incarnation. So it's like, it's quite similar actually. Elementary magic, you get all elements or only one. You pick one, you mark a stress to pick one. I assume you can mark another stress to change it then. So you don't want stress, you don't want to fill up your stress, but you can get rid of stress pretty easily and stuff like that. So it uses stress, it uses hope. This is it's an entirely new D&D, not D&D, it's an entirely new tabletop system. So a lot of this stuff isn't going to make sense until we start playing. But generally speaking, it's pretty cool. And then when you get to specialization, let me read this one out. Elemental aura, once per rest while channeling, you can assume an aura matching your element. This aura affects targets within close range until your channeling ends. Huh. So, wait. Is Elemental Incarnation... Yeah, so mark a stress to channel one of the following elements. So when you're channeling with Elemental Incarnation, when you have specialization, you can have an aura that affects targets within close range. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think I am going to go with Druid. I'm going to go with Druid. I'm going to go with Elemental Druid. So let's grab this card. We'll set that aside for now. That's going to be what I use. Sick. So the next thing we pick is our ancestry. So we have one for each one. There's also more in another pile. So these are really cool. I'm not going to show you every single one. I'm only going to show you what I'm going to be using. But I've already read them all out. But one thing I have noticed, actually, you really love your elemental characters. I really do. I really do. One thing I've actually noticed is that if you look on Simia, at the very bottom, it doesn't have the thing that says, you know, if I go to Highborn, it says Daggerheart, and it tells me, you can't see, fucking hell. It says, you can't see, but right there it says the number, and you can see above it, Simia doesn't have that number. So I don't know what happened there. Is it a misprint? But something else that I also noticed is that actually, if I go back to these for a second, this is number 54. Clank is number 56. So I don't have 55. But Simia doesn't have a number. But it also doesn't make sense for Simia to be number 55 because these are in alphabetical order. So I don't know what happened there. I don't know if that's a misprint or something, but I don't know if that's going to be something that's like really valuable in the future. I don't know. That's going to be cool, but I think I do have all cards. I think it might just be a misprint, but yeah. So we'll put that back in the pile. We'll look at the backgrounds in a minute. So we've got Clank, we've got the Dracona, we've got Dwarf, Elf, Fairy, Faun, Furbolg, Fungrel, Galappa. So Galappas are like turtle creatures. Giant, Goblin, Halfling, Human, Infernus, which is a tiefling, really. Tasty misprint, honestly, I quite like it. Katari, Orc, Ribbit. The Ribbits are adorable, look at that. And you've got the Simia, which is like a monkey thing, right? I love that all the cards have gilded edges. They do, like, look at that. It's so cool. These are so nice. I'm never gonna let anyone else touch these. These are just for me. So yeah, I think I want a Clank, I think, because I don't know why. I think I just do. I don't think I have a reason. I think I just find the thing about having a druid Clank is really interesting. So, especially a Clank Warden of the Elements. So, yeah. We got a mystery to solve, hell yeah. Okay, so Clanks. So, Clanks also, I mean, every single ancestry gets a, fucking traits. They get special traits. So, Clanks are sentient mechanical beings built from a variety of materials, including metal, wood, and stone. Interesting, so I can be made out of wood. Maybe I'll be made out of wood. That'll make the elemental stuff make sense. Ooh, yes, I'll be made out of wood. Okay. Purposeful design. Decide who made you and for what purpose. At character creation, choose one of your experiences that best aligns with this purpose and gain a permanent +1 bonus to it. Damn, that's pretty cool. So experiences is something that you choose yourself. It's something you choose yourself, and it can be a phrase, it can be anything. And you work with your DM to figure out what that actually means. And if you feel like a role would benefit from a +1 or a +2, and it lines up with one of your experiences, then you might get a +1 or +2 based on what experience you get, right? So an experience, it can be anything. Your experience can be like well, I don't know. It can it can be anything. Made out of wood, use fire, set yourself on fire. That's going to be hilarious. Well, no, you'd be able to protect yourself from fire. Maybe that's the backstory. Maybe he was a part of a forest clan of clanks. And I've automatically said he, so I guess I'm playing a guy. Maybe he was part of a forest people of clanks, of wood clanks, and they had their place burnt down. And he's trying to find out what happened, what that was. Maybe that's the thing. So maybe when he's on fire, he gets that sort of rage induced of like, this happened to my people, I need to figure out what happened, kind of thing, right? And maybe he's the only one who can control fire, so he's the only one who would have been able to help, but he couldn't. And maybe that's his thing. Maybe. You also get efficient. When you take a short rest, you can choose a long rest move instead of a short rest move. I don't know what that means, but that's cool. So yeah, I'm going to be a clank. I'm going to be a wood clank, who's a warden of the elements druid. That's pretty cool. You know what? I'm going to put the Simia with the rest of the cards. With the rest of the cards. It makes sense like that. So basically you're playing E54 Bastion. From Overwatch? Nah. Because he's not made of wood. Okay, so now we are picking a community. So we are now picking a community. So these are the community cards. You've got Highborn, Lawborn, Orderborn. You've got 2 of each. You've got Ridgeborn, Seaborn, Slyborn, Underborn, Wonderborn, Wildborn. I'll probably be Wildborn if we're doing the whole wood thing. All outside of wood fits. I mean, I guess. Wildborn. Being part of a Wildborn community means you lived deep within the forest. Lightsfoot. Your movement is naturally silent. You have advantage on rolls to move without being heard. 6. I'll probably be Wildborn, right? Well, let's see what Wonderborn is. Being part of a Wonderborn community means you've lived as a nomad, forging a permanent home and experiencing a wide variety of cultures. Nomadic pack. Add a nomadic pack to your inventory. Once per session, you can spend a hope to reach into this pack and pull out a mundane item that's useful to your situation. Work with the GM to figure out what item you take out. Yeah, that's not really it. Underborn is kind of like, I assume, underneath, right? Yeah. And then you've got Slyborn. Advantage on rolls to negotiate with criminals, detect lies, or find a safe place to hide. That's sick. You've got Seaborn. You've got Ridgeborn, which is like mountains. You've got... I realize you can't see these, but I'm just gonna keep talking. Orderborn. Oh shit, you can roll a d20 as your hope die. But that's pretty sick. I just think it's funny how you accidentally create Bastion despite hinting so much. First of all, I didn't accidentally create Bastion. Second of all, I don't hate Bastion. I hate half the characters in Overwatch, but I love Overwatch. I love the story of Overwatch and everything like that, so. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna take Wildborn. Take Wildborn. And that's gonna be one of our cards as well. Okay, sick. So. The rest of these cards have a symbol at the top, right? With a number. So you've got 1, you've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So these cards are most of them are memorable. Yeah, exactly. So these all have a different thing at the top. These are called domains, I think. I think they're called domains. So each, if I was to grab my character sheet, again, I'm not writing on the character sheet, but if I was to grab this, let me find Druid. Druid is like the second one, isn't it? Druid. So Druid has 2 symbols at the top here. At the very top, right there. And those 2 symbols, Sage and Arcana. So I take out the Sage and Arcana. Why did I put it back in there? Jesus Christ. Hold on. So if I take out the Sage and Arcana cards, I don't know which ones these are. I'm going to have to look at the symbols again. Insert domain expansion joke here. What does that mean? Sage and Arcana. So, yeah, so these are the Arcana cards. So I can take the level 1 Arcana cards and I can pick a certain amount of Arcana and Sage cards to be my, like, abilities. So some of these are spells, some of these are abilities. I think the Arcana ones are just spells for now. The Arcana ones are just spells. But as you level up, you can pick between different ones. So there's an overlap between cards. So there'll be something else that also has Sage and Arcana. Well, no, there'll be something else that has Arcana and there'll be something else that has Sage. But the combinations are unique. So we're going to open back up the book. Oh, we will look at... Oh, I don't want to hurt the pages. Oh, that's fine. We will look at this as well. So let me explain a little bit how the game works. Okay. So you've got evasion. That's basically your AC, right? It's about whether or not a hit actually hits you. Then you've got your armor. So the amount of armor that you have, you can reduce the amount of damage that you take. So it's less mathy than D&D. Do we need more sunlight? I don't know. So it's less mathy than D&D. So you have your minor damage to major damage and major damage to severe damage thresholds. So if a character does a certain amount of damage to you, you see at what point does it cross over to severe damage, or is it major damage, or is it minor damage? So if you get minor damage, you only mark 1 HP. If it's major damage, you mark 2. If it's severe damage, you mark 3. So that's marked here. And then you've also got your stress underneath that. So stress is a different thing. So that's kind of how that works. So it's different to D&D. You have 6 things up here, which is similar to sort of abilities, or the ability stuff in. So you've got agility, strength, finesse. So agility and finesse kind of embody 2 different parts of dexterity. And then you've got instinct, presence, and knowledge. Yeah. So that's kind of how that works. You've got your active weapons, active armor, and you've got inventory weapons as well. And your inventory. So as a druid, I get beast form. Mark a stress to magically transform into a creature of your tier or lower from the beast form list. You could drop out of this form at any time. While transformed, you can't use weapons or cast spells from domain cards. but you can still use other features or abilities you have access to. Spells you cast before you transform stay active and last for the normal duration, and you can talk and communicate as normal. Additionally, you gain the beast forms features, add their evasion bonus to your evasion, and use the traits specified in the statistics for your attack. While you're in beast form, your armor becomes part of your body, and you mark armor slots as usual. When you drop out of a beast form, those marked armor slots remain marked. If you mark your last hit point, you automatically drop out of this form. Wild Touch. You can perform harmless, subtle effects that involve nature, such as causing a flower to rapidly grow, summoning a slight gust of wind, or starting a campfire at will. So that's why we have these class-specific character sheets, because then you have these on your character sheet already. You don't have to write them down. Yeah. Also, the way that they do gold is different. So you've got handfuls of gold, you've got bags of gold, you've got chests of gold. So if you get enough handfuls of gold to fill in this section, that's a bag. If you get enough bags to fill up this section, that's a chest. So then you can, you know, you can have a lot of gold on you. So they don't, it's less mathy. It's quite nice, actually. Okay, okie dokie. So I was gonna get the book out, wasn't I? Let me get the book. So I've made my character now, though. I've made a Warden of the Elements, Clank. Let me show this to you guys. A Warden of the Elements, Clank. And I am Wildborn. So these are my cards. So if I was playing a game, I'd have these cards on me at the top of, you know, either in my thing or in my... You know, you always keep your character sheet in something, right? Your folder or whatever. So you'd have these in little card slots in your folder or something. Or you just have it on the table and you'll be able to use it. You can show it to people to be like, hey, this is what I have, or whatever. And you have these cards just with you, which is sick. I think that's well cool. Because you don't have to flip through a book to get what you need. You have them right here. So, yeah. Let's open up the book and see what it says about domain cards and stuff. Because I don't think I've actually looked at that yet. Okay, So yeah. So we talked about community, so that's what all of this was. So I am a wood clank, warrior of the elements. A warden of the elements, sorry, I'm still in D&D brain. Oopsies, I think I just moved the camera again, didn't I? Ah! Whatever. Okay, assign character traits. So, character traits. That's the agility, finesse, strength, all that jazz. Agility, strength, finesse, instinct, presence, and knowledge. So that's that. You assign just modifiers. So by default, you've got 1 + 2, you've got 2 + 1s, you've got 2 zeros, and you've got a -1. And you assign that however you like. Then other things will change that as you go through the character creation process. So this is the point where I feel like I should begin noting things down, but I don't have a character sheet. Because I don't want to use my character sheets. So, instead... Shit. I don't have it open. I didn't prepare for this. Is this 3 refill pads? Fucking hell. I thought I already only bought 1 big one. Just a paper stream, let's go. I will fill these. I will print out an actual character sheet and put it on my Blue Sky when I get around to it. But for now, we're just gonna rip something out of a refill pad and we'll use that. Yes. Let's do that. Okay, so feel like I should still have the character sheet open so that I can sort of have it be somewhat similar. I say open. I feel like I should still have it around so that I can have it be somewhat similar. We should note down a name, shouldn't we? A name for my clank, my wood clank. I don't know. Maybe we'll do that later. Let's put a section for our name and we'll put that in later. Ratchet. I'm not calling him Ratchet. It's got to be elemental, surely. Something elemental. Whoopsies. I just hit the... I'm sorry. Where do I put this? Don't be too heavy. Don't bend it. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, sick. So. We've got... Okay. Got name. We'll do pronouns as well because it's on the sheet. Might as well. Name, pronouns. It's fine. Just don't be too hard on it. And then heritage and subclass. So we'll go one. We'll go here. I don't know how you spell heritage. Heritage. Subclass. Okay. Sick. So, we've already decided he's gonna be a guy, so he's gonna be he, him. Ah, shit. I can fucking spell. I can spell he. There we go. Okay, subclass. A Warden of the Elements Druid. Warden of the I guess I'm not. Elements. I don't need to put druid. I know I'm a druid. Okay. Heritage. I'm a wildborn clank. That's an N. Wildborn clank. And I'm made out of wood. Okay, I'm made out of wood. So. White defender down. Well done. Keep going. The Warden of the Elements, clank, wildborn. This is sick! I love this. Okay. So, we need to do the agility, strength, finesse, instinct, presence, and knowledge. Okay, so let's do that. Let's just put them down. Agility, and we'll put the number underneath. So agility, strength. I can spell, it's okay. Instinct. That's a big T at the end of a word. What am I doing? Presence, which is like charm. And then knowledge. Okay. I have a question. What kind of wood? I don't know. I don't know anything about wood. Oak, I guess? Or maybe pine? It depends what forest he grew up in. I reckon he lived in like a mixed... Okay. I reckon he lived in like a mixed... a mixed ancestry forest community, right? And he was built out of the wood of that forest as sort of an experiment. And he kind of just lived as a humble guy. He was just a humble dude. And he would just go around, he'd go around helping people. His purpose was just to experiment a little bit. And once he was built, he just kind of lived amongst everyone else and helped people out and stuff like that. So he'll have an experience that has to do with helping people or something like that. I don't know. So sorry, I'm trying to crack my back and it work. Ah, sad. Okay, so we need to do shit. My spellcaster trait is instinct. Okay, so he's got to have good instinct. I guess I'll do that to be my +2, right? You can play it around his stats, like if it's big and bulky, you can do something strong and heavy, or something much lighter for more agile and fast character. That's true, that's true. Given that he's wildborn, he's lightfoot, so your movement is naturally silent. You have advantage on rolls to move without being heard. That makes sense for his agility then to be quite big. So maybe his instinct is +2. So instinct is things like to perceive, to sense, to navigate, which makes sense. And then his agility will be +1. Which one should be his dump stat? I wonder if it has... It might have suggestions, actually, in the character. They all have, like... Oopsies. They all have character stuff at the back of this book. And there's also in this thing, but... Okay. I wonder if it says somewhere. Maybe in the main bit. Oh, it does actually have stuff for each thing. Maybe I will look through it then. Okay. Oh yeah, here's how it says about domains and that. So Arcana and Sage, I think, is what I have. So Arcana is the domain of the innate and instinctual magic. Those who choose this path tap into the raw, enigmatic forces of the realms to manipulate both their own energy and the elements. Arcana offers wielders a volatile power, but is incredibly potent when correctly channeled. And then Sage is the domain of the natural world. Those who walk this path tap into the undefeated power of the earth and its creatures to unleash raw magic. Sage grants its adherence to the vitality of the blooming flower and the frosty of a ravenous predator. Sick. Okay, where's the character? There should be a character guide for... If I look through. Okay, wait, missed it. Druid character guide. +2 instinct, +1 agility, 0 strength, +1 finesse, 0 knowledge, and -1 presence. I might switch strength and presence. So it has like suggested traits. I might switch strength and presence. So he has -1 to strength. And then -1 strength and just 0 presence. And +1 on finesse. Yeah. Do +1 finesse, and then 0 presence, 0 knowledge. I think that makes sense. OMG, hand reveal, plus merch available when, who knows? Sup, nerds? How's it here? Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're making characters. Or a character, rather. I'm making a Warden of the Elements druid, and he is a plank made out of wood, and he is wild-born, so he grew up in the forest, and he's really cool. Okay. Suggested primary weapon is a short staff. Instinct close. Suggested secondary weapon is a round shield. Strength melee. +1 to armor score. Suggested armor, leather armor. Sick. Okay. This is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. Oh my gosh. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. I need both character sheets up at once. Wait, hold on. Let's read the stuff about. Okay, so we read stuff about our domains. Cool. Any backstory or themes for personality so far? Basically, so far what we have is that he's made out of wood, and he lived in sort of a mixed ancestry society in the forest. And they were just kind of a nice forest community that looked after each other. And he was made as a sort of experiment, just to see if he would work. And he did. And so when he asked, like, what's my purpose? What do I do? His creators just said, your purpose is to live amongst us and learn as much as you can and help as many people as you can and do as much good as you can. And that's kind of what his purpose was. So he dedicated himself to helping people and to learning about the forest and about his community. But at some point, his forest burnt down, and a lot of his people were killed, and he blames himself for that. So I don't know if everyone was killed or if they just all decided to move their own way. I haven't really decided yet. By clicking on a character, I'm looking at trees to think which one fits best for an agile character. So far, my best pick is Topol. It depends what forest he was in, doesn't it? Because he was made out of the forest there. Okay. Okay, so that's about reading domain cards. We don't actually need to know any of this yet, except for the level and the domain. So we only need to know the level and domain. We'll pick our cards in a little bit. Okay. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, all right. So specialization and mastery. Is for level ups, so we're not gonna worry about that. We're gonna grow up to be a lich because of that line. What? Learn as much as you can. You know that's a very dangerous path. No, it isn't. Only if you're a negative person. I don't know what a topol is, my guy. Okay, let's move on to druid. So this is our little druid section in our thing. Okay, it's a calling for those who wish to learn from and protect the magic of the wilderness. While one might underestimate a gentle druid who practices the often quiet work of cultivating flora, druids who channel the untamed forces of nature are terrifying to behold. Druids cultivate their abilities in small groups, often connected by a specific ethos or locale, but some choose to work alone. By a specific through years of study and dedication, druids can learn to transform into beasts and shape nature itself. Okay, starting evasion is, so evasion is 10. And starting hit points is 6. Class items, a small bag of rocks and bones, or a strange pendant found in the dirt. I will do a strange pendant found in the dirt. It'll be a pendant of his creator. It's a tree, apparently in English. Topal is called poplar. I don't know what that is still. You overestimate my ability to know trees. Failing up Pantheon 5. Oh no. Sick. Druid's Hope feature, Evolution. Spend 3 hope to transform into a beast form without marking a stress. When you do, choose one trait to raise by +1 until you drop out of that beast form. Sick. And then class features, you can mark a stress to transform into a creature of your tier or lower from the beast form list. Okay, Druid subclass. We're a Warden of the Elements, that's what we are. Instinct, elemental inclination, mark a stress to channel one of your following elements until you take severe damage or until your next rest. Yeah. So we have all of this. Background questions. Why was the community you grew up in so reliant on nature and its creatures? Because they were in the forest. I don't know. Who's the first wild animal you bonded with? Why did your bond end? Ooh, who's been trying to hunt you down? What do they want from you? Okay. Answer any of the following questions. You can also create your own questions, yes. Connections. Ask your fellow players one of the following questions for the character to answer to create your own question. What did you confide in me that makes me leap into danger for you every time? What animal do I say you remind me of? What affectionate nickname have you given me? Cute. Okay, this illustration is kind of why I wanted to play a Clank Druid. Like, that is so cool. That is sick. Okay. What forest animals are there? I don't want it to be a bird because I don't want to be Bastion. Fire-resistant wood would help with how he survived this catastrophic forest fire. Yes, that's true. What about picking a tree that's known to be fire-resistant? Funny name for a tree. So, yeah, he would be made out of a fire-resistant tree, but the forest that burnt down wouldn't be made out of a fire-resistant tree. Absorbs lightning to burn trees around it and get rid of competitors. Interesting. Maybe we'll do that. Beast form options. Oh, God. When you use your beast form feature, choose a creature category of your tier or lower. At the DM's discretion, you can describe yourself transforming into any animal that reasonably fits into that category. Beast form categories are divided by tier. Each entry includes the following details. Creature category. Each category's name describes the common role or behavior that creatures in this category, such as adults. Well, Jesus Christ, there's a lot of stuff. Da, 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 da. Oh, sick. Now, while transform, you add the creature's evasion bonus to your normal evasion. Your evasion is usually 8 and your beast form says evasion +2. Your evasion becomes 10 while you're in that form. Okay. Advantages. Your form makes you especially suited to certain actions. When you make an action or reaction roll related to one of the verbs listed for that creature category, you gain advantage on that roll. Agile Scout gains advantage on rolls made to sneak around, search for objects or creatures, and related activities. Okay, wait. Okay, so it gives you, instead of giving, make your animal a tiny bastion like Warforged. I mean, I guess. And maybe the lightning strike is what caused the forest fire, hence him being guilty for causing it. Yeah, maybe it hit him or something. No, that doesn't make sense. Maybe he was in a tree. No, it wouldn't have hit him, but absorbs like, well, maybe if he is absorbing lightning, then it would hit him, even though he wasn't the highest thing there. And it burnt everything around him. Dipteryx? How do you say that? Okay, we'll put a pin in that. That'll be backstory stuff. I want to look at this stuff. So instead of giving us a list of specific animals, it gives us like categories. So like agile scout. So this is like a fox, a mouse, a weasel, etc. And then it gives you stuff based on that. And then nimble grazer, like a deer, a gazelle, a goat, etc. Aquatic scout, eel, fish, octopus, etc. Stalking arachnid, tarantula, wolf, spider, etc. Pack predator, coyote, hyena, wolf, etc. Household friend, cat, dog, rabbit, etc. So instead of giving you specific stuff, you just have to fit an animal into one of those categories. Damn. That's actually really cool. I really like that. And you got tier 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just 1, 2, 3, and 4. So tiers are based on what level you are. So level 1 is tier 1. Tier 2 is level 2 to 4. Tier 3 is levels 5 to 6. And level 4 is levels 8 to 10. So 10 is the max level, I think. And then in tier 4, you get mythic beast, mythic aerial hunter, massive behemoth, terrible lizard, like a brontosaurus, tyrannosaurus, oh my god, sick. Epic aquatic beast, giant squid whale, etc. Mythic hybrid, a chimera, cockatrice, manticore. Cockatrice, lol. Tasty. This is pretty cool, actually. I really like this. Alright. Okay. Okay, wait, when do you get your specialty and mastery then? When do you get your specialty and mastery cards? It doesn't say. I'm guessing at tier 3 and 4. Oh, there it is, I found it. Take an upgraded subclass card, then cross out the multiclass option for this tier. So you either take an upgrade or you multiclass. Mastery points, ACS. No, not quite. Not quite Assassin's Creed. Okay, sick. So when you get to tier 3, you can either multiclass or take an upgraded subclass card. And the same at tier 4. So tier 1 and 2, you just have your foundation. Then tier 3, you get specialization. Tier 4, you get mastery. I see. If you stick to 1. Okay. So, wait, hold on. I need to know what domain cards I'm gonna pick. I'm not gonna do things like choosing my weapons. I'll do that later. I'll do that when I'm actually doing my character sheet. or later on. I want to do things with the cards because I think the cards are sick. So there's also experiences, using experiences, all that. Choose your domain cards. Domains are the core building block of Daggerheart's classes. The following domains are included in this book. Yeah. Deck of cards containing abilities and spells. Each class in Daggerheart is formed by combining 2 of these domains. Sick. Shared domains. Each class shares its domains with at least one other class. Blade is shared by Guardian and Warrior. Sage is shared by Druid and Ranger. And Grace is shared by the Bard and the Rogue. If a fellow player's class has the same domain as yours, we encourage you to coordinate with them and choose different cards from that domain deck, even if your group has multiple copies. This way, each player feels distinct and shines when they bring... Yeah, okay. So now we choose domain cards, but how many cards do you get? How many cards do I get? I don't know that it says. I am confusion. Let me see if it says anything further into the book. I imagine it probably might. Ancestry. Oh wait, let's read our ancestry. Honestly, I can't wait for ACS to end because I'm curious what will be next after that game. I don't think ACS is ending for a long while. We're almost at the end of Arc 2. So we'll then be going into Arc 3. And that will be the end. So Arc 3 is the ending. But once we get to Arc 3, I will be focusing on Arc 3. And is Arc what I mean to be saying? No, Act is what I mean to be saying. And I've already decided, I need to start a new Zelda game, but I said I was going to start a new Zelda game after Hollow Knight, and Hollow Knight is not finishing anytime soon, so whoopsies. Funny enough, those trees don't just absorb lightning, they grew super big specifically to attract them. Interesting. I'll have to look into that. Right, let's look at the Clank. Hold on. Clanks are sentient mechanical beings from a variety of materials, metal, wood, and stone. Humanoids, animals, or even inanimate objects like organic beings. Their bodies came in a wide array of sizes. Because of their bespoke construction, many Clanks have highly specialized physical configurations. Examples include clawed hands for grasping, wheels for movement, or built-in weaponry. I was just going to do a classic Clank. Humanoid. PS5 holding Zelda hostage. Honestly, it really is. All Clanks have some power source. Interesting. Some sort of elemental power source, in my case. Ooh, interesting. Okay. A Clank's lifespan extends as long as they're able to acquire or craft new parts, making their physical form effectively immortal. That said, their minds are subject to the effects of time and deteriorate as the magic that powers them loses potency. Damn. Randomizer 2. Well, the randomizer will just be a quick one-off. Okay. Oh, sick. There's actually some sick stuff in here. I say that as if I didn't know that already. What about a Clank that transforms into a tree? Like, most normal looking tree. It transforms into... Druids transform into beasts, though, not... Some druids after death do turn into trees, exactly. So maybe that's just what will happen. This is really cool. Oh my god, I need to actually read this properly. They have, like, guidance on how to play a deaf character or how to play a blind or visually impaired character. This is so cool. Spike leg reveal. Also, cool avatar. Thank you. I just bought it. I say just bought it. I bought it. I paid the artist quite a while ago, and she's been working really hard on it, and I'm really happy with it. I'm so happy. It's so cool. Okay. Right, I don't actually know how many domain cards I get. I assume like 1 or 2? It doesn't say. I'm so confused. Does it say here? To start, look at the level 1 cards from your class's 2 domains and choose 2 cards. Okay, returning the rest of the respective decks. Take 1 from each domain or 2 from a single domain, whichever you prefer. These cards grant you special spells and abilities. You choose another card each time you level up. Okay, so 2 cards. Let's do that. Arcana and Sage. So, Adam. I am making a druid, Warden of the Elements. He's going to be a clank. He's going to be a clank made out of wood. And he's wildborn, of course, because he was built in the forest with his people. So we have these cards, and when you play, you have these cards just on you. And you can quickly reference them. You can hand them to someone else or your DM to be like, yeah, this is what the card says. It has your abilities on them. So yeah, Warden of the Elements has the stuff there. Yeah, it's really cool. And you get a wild board, you get a trait to do with your background as well. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. Right now, each class gets a domain, gets 2 domains. And so we can open up our cards here. I believe. Okay, so let's get rid of the... So these are all of the like background cards. So we have level 1 Sage cards. So these are either Sage or Arcana, I don't remember. So I have these to pick from. I also have... Man, there's so many of these. Sage and Arcana. I don't know what the Sage and Arcana symbols are. This one's bone, so these are bones. There we go. Found it. Right, okay. So we've got these level 1 cards as well. So we're picking 2 from these. Okay, so we're picking 2 from these 3 on each one. So we've got these, and we've got these, I believe. So one of these is Sage and one of these Arcana. I don't know which one's which. So we have 4 spells, and 2 abilities to pick from. Let's look at the abilities. Okay. Gifted Tracker. When you're tracking a specific creature or group of creatures based on signs of their passage, you can spend any number of hope and ask the GM that many questions from the following list. Which direction did they go? How long ago did they pass through? What were they doing in this location? How many of them were there? When you encounter creatures you've tracked in this way, gain a +1 bonus to your evasion against them. Oh, sick. That's pretty cool. Ability, Nature's Tongue. When you speak you can speak the language of the natural world. When you want to speak to plants and animals around you, make an instinct roll. On a success, they'll give you the information they know. On a roll with fear, their knowledge might be limited or come at a cost. Additionally, before you make a spellcast roll, while within a natural environment, you can spend a hope to gain +2 bonus to the roll. Oh, sick. It's past dinner time, but I go get some chicken. I'll be here. Sick. See you in a bit. Banana. I might do Nature's Tongue. I might do Nature's Tongue. Let's look at these spells now. Vicious Entangle. Make a spellcast roll against a target within far range. On a success, roots and vines reach out from the ground, dealing 1d8 +1 physical damage and temporarily restraining the target. Additionally, on a success, you can spend a hope to temporarily restrain another adversary within very close range. To temporarily restrain another adversary within very close range of your target. Oh. Sick. I just realized you can fucking see everything I'm doing. Sorry, I'm itching my fucking thing. I put my trousers a bit too tight. Okay, I don't know that I'll do Vicious Entangle. Let's look at Rune Ward. You have a deeply personal trinket that can be infused with protective magic and held as a ward by you or your ally. Or an ally. Describe what it is and why it's important to you. The ward's holder can spend a hope to reduce incoming damage by 1d8. If the ward die result is 8, the ward's power ends after it reduces damage this turn. It can be recharged for free on your next rest. Okay. Unleash Chaos. At the beginning of a session, place a number of tokens equal to your spellcast trait on this card. Interesting. So that's what the tokens are for. I'll show you the tokens in a bit. Make a spellcast roll against your target within far range and spend any number of tokens to channel raw energy from within yourself and unleash against them. On a success, roll a number of d10s equal to the tokens you spent and deal that much magic damage to the target. Mark a stress to replenish this card with tokens up to your spellcast trait. At the end of each session, clear all unspent tokens. At the beginning of a session? Shit. Okay. A number of tokens equal to your spellcast trait. Spellcast roll against target within far range and spend any number of tokens to channel raw energy from within yourself and unleash against them. That could work well. That could work well. And then the next one is Wall Walk. Spend a hope to allow a creature you can touch to climb on walls and ceilings as easily as walking on the ground. That's until the end of the scene, or you cast Wall Walk again. Damn. I think we're gonna go Nature's Tongue. I'm gonna go Nature's Tongue. I think that makes sense. And I'm gonna go with Unleash Chaos. And I'm gonna flavor it very... I'm gonna very much flavor it in an elemental way. So these are my cards for level 1. Warden of the Elements, Foundation for Druid. I'm a Clank. I'm a Wildborn. I have the spell Unleash Chaos, and I have the ability Nature's Tongue. That is my thing. Okay, let's put these cards back. Okay, hold on. Give me like 2 seconds. I'm gonna just grab one of these babies. Let's see. Did they actually... They look like they might be a bit wide. The cards. Oh, those aren't the ones I'm using. No, they're perfect. Sick. Nice. And then you add more. You add more cards to it as you level up because you get more domain cards that you have access to. You can, in the future, you can pick domain level 1 domains or you can pick level 2 domains. When I level up to level 2. Sick. All right, let's put the cards back roughly where they went. So these are number 208. I think these were in this deck. 208 and 210. Oh, right there, I found it. We could take a look at the rest of, you know, the level 2 cards and stuff, but I don't think I'm going to. I might do that in my own time. I just want to make a level 1 character. So you got 210 there, and then 29 I have, and 210, 28 right there. So then you've got the rest of this in there. And then the others were in this first deck. So let's take this out and put them back. So this was 82. 81. Right here. So right at the beginning. So 85, 84, and then I've got 83, and this is 82. Sick. Put all of these back. This is so cool! Mark-off time. Good luck with Mark-off. But you can have a look in the future and see what other domain cards you get access to. That's really cool. That is really, really cool. Okay. Sick. So remember, one of my cards, Unleash Chaos, said something about... We look at this. At the beginning of a session, place a number of tokens equal to your spellcast trait on this card. So my spellcast trait is Instinct, which means I have +2. So I would take these. I haven't shown you these yet, but these are a bunch of tokens. Like a shit ton of tokens. I don't know what these are used for. I think they're used mainly for the DM, but obviously I can use them as well as part of my thing. So I can pick a couple tokens. Let's go with an orange and a green. And those can be my 2 tokens for the session. For Unleash Chaos. Make a spellcast roll against a target within far range and spend any number of tokens to channel raw energy from within yourself to unleash chaos on them. To unleash against them. On a success, roll a number of d10s equal to the tokens you spent and deal that much magic damage to the target. So do I get to add stuff to my spellcast traits and stuff? Or what? Or is it always going to be like a 2d10? I should probably read the rest of the stuff. Let's read the rest of the stuff. Right, now to put all these tokens back. I didn't think this through. Give me like 2 seconds. Got to Great Prince Zoe with 5 mass this time. Let's do this. Hell yeah, let's do it. Okay. So I think the tokens were also used for the DM shite. Wait, I don't want to put my face on the internet. Shit. Where did it go? Does anyone see it? Just see it on the floor? Am I dumb? Well, we know I'm dumb. That's fine. Did anyone see where it went? God damn it. I'll deal with it later. Also, I love that I said I don't want to put my face on the internet. It's literally, I look exactly like that. That is what I look like. Well, no. She has a thinner face than me. You might get jump scared a little. Also, if you know where to look, you can find my face quite easily. So, maybe I shouldn't be too worried. Okay. I'm missing a token. I'll find it. I have a bunch of shit on my floor. It's fine. And while I'm here, let's check out the dice that they give you. Because they... Yeah, we know that. You know what? Wait, which part? That I have a bunch of shit on my floor? Found it. I found it. It's right there. Do you see? It's right there. Found it. Feet pics. You get my feet pics for free. Have fun with that. No, before that? What do you know? Let me know. Tell me. Okay. No, before. Just say what it was. What is it with you and just not saying things? There's a delay. I don't know what you said. I don't know what you're responding to. Let me know if I express that I don't know. Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay, so here we've got our normal set of 7 dice, right? So you got your D4, your D6, D8, D10, percentage, D12, and your D20, right? So you've got all of these here, right? Then you've also got an additional 2 D12. So these additional 2 D12, this is a hope dice, and this is a fear dice. And what you do is you roll these when you want to roll a roll. And right here, you'll see I rolled a 7 and a 6. So that would be 13, right? I rolled a 7 and a 6. I rolled a 13, but the 7, the higher number, is on the fear dice. So that would be a 13 with fear. So that would change. It might be a success, but it would change how the fucking if it's a success but was with fear, that would change how it goes. So it might succeed, but you get a little bit of damage, or maybe there's a guard on the other side of the door or something like that, right? Something bad happens even though you get what you want. Whereas if you did with hope, that's not with hope, that was a 1 and a 10. If you did with hope, like a 6 and an 8 with hope, then you get exactly what you want. So yeah, that's really cool. Really super cool. So that's sort of the dice system in this. And if you fail with fear, you completely fuck it up. But if you fail with hope, then you might get limited information, or you don't get what you want, but you get something similar, or, you know, something like that. It's really cool. It's a really cool system. I really want to try it out. So that's kind of what that means. That's what it means when it sometimes says if you roll with fear. I think one of my things said something. Yeah, Nature's Tongue, on a roll with fear, their knowledge might be limited or come at a cost. So, yeah. It also has a DC 12. A DC of 12. Damn. Okay, so we picked everything. Let's look at things like... So we've picked our cards. Picked all of our cards. We have our basic abilities here. So +1 on agility, -1 on strength, +1 on finesse, +2 on instinct, 0 presence, 0 knowledge. Hit point 6, evasion 10. But there's also other stuff. Suggested primary weapon, a short staff. Yeah, I quite like a staff. But then there's other weapons and armor and stuff. So let's look at that. We should have picked our equipment before our domain cards, but nah. Okay. Record additional character information. Evasion. Your class's starting evasion appears right beneath the evasion field in your character sheet. I did say evasion 10, right? Yeah. Evasion starts at 10, yeah. So hit point and stress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. Okay. Every class starts with 6 stress, okay. You put the stress anywhere you wish, but the generator represents your character's abilities to get knocked down and keep coming back. You'll mark your character's hit points and stress when these situations arise. The fewer marks you have, the better. Okay, hope and fear. Hope and fear are currencies used by the players and the GM to represent the way fate turns for or against the characters during the game. Start with 2 hope. Mark this in the hope field of your character sheet. Okay, we don't need to do that. Anytime you roll with hope in your duality dice, meaning your hope die rolled higher than your fear die, you gain a hope to a maximum of 6. During the game, you can spend hope to help your character's allies, apply their life experience to challenges, and empower their spells and abilities. If you roll with fear instead on your duality dice, the DM gains a fear that they can spend on certain effects. Sometimes a fear roll introduces other complications into a scene, even if you succeeded on your roll. Okay, that's all that does. Ah, hello, Rex. Engaging got me to 1 mask 4 times. Damn. I've been summoned. What's up, Rex? Rex. Mwahaha. You've summoned the Hollow Knight community. You did. It's good to see you, man. Alright, sick. Choosing weapons. Okay, okay, my proficiency is 1 at level 1. Sick. Okay. Armor confuses me in this game, I can't lie. I'm gonna have to read that on my own time, I think. I should be studying for a test, but I saw this and went, yeah, this can wait. I've always been interested in this. Still trying to convince my friends to play. Yeah, well, I did a D&D, creating a D&D character, upgrading my D&D character from the old rules to the new rules last summer. But now I got Daggerheart, so I definitely am trying this one out. Okay. Got pure vessel, sad. Okay. I think my armor does actually, okay. Okay, let's look at armor. Where's armor? It's in chapter 2, apparently. Sorry, work summoned me. That's all fine. I'll study while seeing this, we ball. Hell yeah. Got pure vessel. My deaths in order so far have been pure vessel, Markoth, GPZ, pure vessel. Damn. I only just saw this. What have I missed? Right, you'll like this, Harry. I have made a Warden of the Elements Clank, and I'm Wildborn, so I'm a Clank which is like a robot, but I'm made out of wood. And I've chosen my domain cards, Unleash Chaos and Nature's Tongue. So I'm a robot druid, but I'm made out of wood, which is really cool. But yeah, it's basically just been me looking over this, looking over everything. I need to mark my armor. I need to look at the armor. Okay, equipment. Primary weapons. Okay, let's look at primary weapons, actually. What uses instinct? A quarterstaff uses instinct. That's good for this. And it's a D10 plus 3. But there's also magic weapons. Hand runes, no. Short staff, here we go. And a dual staff? A dual staff? That book is wide. I mean, it's a book. It's a D&D book. Also, new PNG, hell yeah. She's been working on that for like a month-ish now. It's really, really good. I really love it. Clank, 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 exactly. Instinct, that stat actually that would... that is a stat actually that I would expect in D&D. Yes, so the stats are agility, strength, finesse, instinct, presence, and knowledge. So I have a +1 in agility, -1 to strength, +1 in finesse, +2 in instinct, 0 presence, 0 knowledge. So, yeah. So my spell casting is instinct, so that's what I'm using. Trying to find stuff that use instinct. Okay, maybe I do have a short staff. A dual staff would be cool, though. Then I don't have to... Oh, but there's also a returning blade. Oh! So would you want to minimize presence if you're going for a stealth build? Presence is more about... It's basically charm. Your presence is your charm. So it's like how much presence you have towards other people. Do you seem present to other people, I guess? So yeah, it's more about that. Your stealth would come in either finesse or agility. So dexterity is kind of split into both agility and finesse. Yeah, it is a little different from D&D. Can this PNG version give us an annoyed look? No, it can only... Oh, hello, you can see my mouse. You can only look a bit annoyed. No, not annoyed. You can look a bit disturbed, sad, scared. Yeah. Or I can hold the controller in my hand. Yeah. I'm looking at the game now and I'm playing. Woo! But yeah. Sick. So you have dexterity of the body and dexterity of the arms as separate stats. Interesting. Yeah, so finesse is more like small, specific movements. So like lockpicking would come under finesse. Whereas agility would be more that kind of thing. Agility would be more full body stuff. Yeah. Disturbed Spike is her face when we talk about cat soup or me asking about the pets in ACS. Yes, exactly. I've missed so much lore. You haven't missed that much lore. You're fine. You're fine. I've only been streaming for almost 2 hours. Oh, shit. Okay, so I think I might do the dual staff. It's a two-handed weapon. I don't know, though. Or do I just do the quarterstaff? I don't know. Maybe I'll just do the quarterstaff. I don't know. Okay, let's look at... Shit. Holy shit, they have a combat wheelchair? That's what that says, combat wheelchair. Sick. Bro. That is so cool, man. They've got actual stats for wheelchair. Light frame wheelchair. Legendary light frame wheelchair. Shit, man. That's so cool. Combat wheelchair. That is so cool. That is so sick. Man. Okay, loot. We don't need to know about loot. I need armor. Where's armor? Did I miss armor? Armor. Yeah. Okay. Wait, what? Where's the rest of the armor? But okay, but where is the armor? Let's go. Disabled inclusive combat. Exactly. I'm good. Should I just skip this test? No, Rex. Go do your test. No armor for you. Combat wheelchair only. Yes. Okay, but where is the armor? It says there's a whole thing here for using armor. But it doesn't have a table with the armor. It has primary weapon tables. Secondary weapon tables. Armor tables. I fucking found it. I'm such an idiot. Jesus Christ. Okay, leather armor. Leather armor is the suggested, and the base thresholds is 613. But if I get Gambeson armor, you get +1 to evasion. Why armor when you don't plan to get hit? What's this test on? Sorry for breaks chat rules. It does not. You're fine. What if our clank wasn't built with a lower body and was integrated into the combat wheelchair? Maybe. That could be cool. Some stuff about the history, culture, and motivations of my country. Sick. All stats into evasion become unhittable. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But I'm a druid. I'm not a monk. So maybe I should just do the leather armor. What's my evasion right now? My evasion is 10. Do I get +1 to evasion because of agility? Does it say anything about that? Does agility affect that? It doesn't say anything about that. I would have assumed agility would affect your evasion. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about that. Oh, another cool thing. Oh wait. I don't know if the druid has a wild shape like D&D 5e, but just hit on your turn and then turn into a fly and vanish. It does. It has a thing called beast form. It's really cool. But instead of giving you different stat blocks for specific animals, it gives you like, so for example, the agile scout, so a fox, mouse, weasel, etc. And it gives you a stat block for anything that is considered an agile scout. And then you've got nimble grazer, so deer, gazelle, goat, aquatic scout, which is eel, fish, octopus, pack predator, coyote, hyena, wolf, etc. And you can just pick one of these stat blocks based on that. I just want to call sick and stay home. No, Rex, you got to do your shit. Wonder what shapes Kaveen has chosen for the wild shapes. Yeah, I wonder. Since combat wheelchairs mentioned, I have to sing the song. Guys, my legs are broken, kneecaps are stolen from, bound to a chair. My guy, what are you talking about? So, yeah, so it's called a beast form in Daggerheart. It's pretty cool. Okay, let's go with leather armor. Because my evasion isn't great. It's only 10. So it makes sense to have a higher threshold. So equipment. Oh, whoopsies. I shouldn't be on my cards. So the thing is about the cards though is so cool is I can take this out and I can show it to someone and be like, hey, look, this is my abilities, blah, blah, blah. I love the cards so much. I love the cards. I love it. A lot of flavor opportunities to choose animals you think are cool rather than D&Ds. It has to be on this list kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. Equipment. So I'm going to pick leather armor. Leather armor. So that would mean that my base thresholds are 6 and 13. And my base score is 3. And then when I get to higher levels, you can get other stuff. Okay. Sick. This is really cool, actually. I'm not going to read everything out, but... You don't have skin, so you're wearing someone else's? I might flavor it differently. I might just be wearing clothes. Or it might not be leather armor. It might just be that I have a tough wood exterior. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be... Okay, and what am I gonna... I guess... Do I do the quarter... Okay, do I do the quarterstaff or do I do a magic? Do I do a magic one? Do I do a short staff? I guess I do a short staff, right? I want a dual staff, but it feels like that would be a bad idea. Because it does magic damage. You can find a short staff in any wooded area. Yeah, I'd go with magic personally. I kind of want a dual staff. It's two-handed. I won't get access to a secondary weapon, but... yeah. I don't understand how armor works, I'm going to be so honest. Because armor is like a thing that you can mark off instead of taking hit points. I'm a little confused. Let me read this out for you. You'll be in some kind of animal in most combats anyway, right? So what is a door staff? What? What? I didn't say door staff. I said a dual staff. D-U-A-L staff. Dual. It's just a bigger staff. Hold on, let me look. Okay, it's okay. A weapon's damage type specifies what kind of damage it does to a target. Physical or magic. Physical damage comes from any wielded weapon that cuts, stabs, or bludgeons. Magic damage is caused or enhanced by magic, such as the Conjure Swarm, Midnight Spirit, and Smite spells. Oh, a dual staff, misheard you, was hoping you carried a door on you for clobbering. Yep, that is exactly what I was doing. Okay. Where's the character guide? Druid character guide. Here we go. Short staff, instinct close, D8 plus 1 magic, one-handed. That's the suggested primary weapon. But there's a suggested secondary weapon, which is a round shield, strength, melee, D4 physical, one-handed. And it is protective, so it gives you +1 to your armor score. Gotta go, best of luck. Good luck with your test, my guy. Good luck with your exam. I heard door staff too. Really? Wood robot that beat up people with a door, let me guess. Also made from wood. He didn't beat people up. That's not what he did. Okay. I could have a shield. I don't know that I want a shield, though. Oopsies. I don't know that I want a shield. I don't know that that makes sense. I think it makes more sense that he just... I just want to make a monk. That's what I want to do, but I can't. He is agile, but he's not... You can use a door as a shield. No! No doors! Okay. I'm confused. Do I need to be using a spell to use my magic weapon? An old wooden robot whose other wooden robot friend was defeated in battle and reclaimed and repurposed into a door, who's now wielded as a staff by the BBEG. That would be hilarious. No. Okay. Yeah, I'm a little confused, I can't lie. Do you have to be using a spell to be attacking with magic? Or can you use the stats of the... I'm very confused. Okay, wait. Spellcast rolls. Type of action roll used when you're creating significant magical effects, typically with a domain card. To make a spellcast roll, your character must have a subclass that gives you spellcast traits, which you can find on the subclass foundation card. You use that trait when you make a spellcast roll. Like other trait rolls, spellcast rolls can have a difficulty, spellcast roll 14, for example. It's also considered attack roll if it can damage a target. If you can't make a spellcast roll unless you use a spell that calls for one, and the action you're trying to perform must be within the scope of the spell. You can't just make up magic effects that aren't on your character sheet or cards. They may allow you to creatively apply an existing spell in an unusual way. Remember that you can always flavor your magic to match the character you're playing, but that flavor won't give you access to new effects. Okay. When is a door not a door? When it's a jar. Ah ha 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 ha. No, let's not. Okay. Okay, that didn't really answer my question. Wait. What's about marking? What? This shit about marking things and shit I'm not privy to. Any ideas on backstory for this lanky clanky? The basic backstory is that his forest burnt down. So he was built as a sort of experiment just to see if they could build him. And they could. And when he asked what his purpose was, he was just a guy. They basically said, you're just some guy and just live amongst the rest of us and protect us and learn as much as you can about nature and be good, is what he was told about his purpose. So that's what he did. He made friends, he protected people, he learned about nature and magic and all that jazz. And one day his forest burnt down, and I don't know if people died or not. I don't know, maybe they just went their separate ways, but he blames himself for it. And people are saying in chat, Banana was saying that there's a type of wood that, is this a D&D sort of thing? Kinda. It's a different tabletop RPG, but yeah. Can't believe I just have my feet out on the internet. What was wrong with me? Yeah, so that's the basic backstory. New system related to Critical Role, I think. Yeah, so Critical Role has a team of people called Darrington Press who make games, and this is their newest one. Have you decided the name yet? No, I haven't. I'm still confused. Okay, I'm just gonna wait until people tell me on the internet. Because I am confusion, I can't lie. There is a tree that attracts lightning to burn everything around it. Yeah, so maybe my guy attracts lightning. And there was a thunderstorm. The first time they ever saw a thunderstorm. And, yeah, it burnt the forest down. I don't know, man. Okay. So I have not yet decided on his weapon. So we're just gonna leave it for now. It's probably gonna be a short staff or a quarterstaff. Probably a short staff. A type of wood that what? No, a type of tree. Wood. A type of wood. It, like, attracts lightning to it and to burn everything around it. Druid equivalent? It is a druid, yeah. So look. So druid right there. I've got a warden of the elements druid Clank. And he's wildborn, meaning he grew up in the forest. And I have 2 domain cards. One from each domain that I have access to as a druid. So I've got the spell Unleash Chaos and the ability Nature's Tongue. So I can take these cards out, I can pass them about, I can show them to my DM, I can do all that kind of jazz. It's really cool. Yeah. They have a lot of equivalents. They've got the sorcerer, they've got bards, they've got a fighter equivalent and barbarian equivalent. But they're not called that. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. I recommend it. I really want to play a game. No funny monkey. There is a monkey, actually. Were you not here? There's a monkey. Ancestry. Monkey. And there's different communities, which is like highborn, lawborn. It gives you different traits. Wildborn gives me lightfoot, so I get advantage on stealth rolls pretty much. Oh, Cinder Grasp. Is the pig called a sus? There isn't a pig. I get the feeling that's a joke and I don't understand it. I can't lie to you. Be a funny idea to give this guy electric resistance, but make him more attractive to electric attacks. If this fella gets hit with electricity, then he'd burn everything around. I mean, I don't know that I can just give him traits like that. I don't know that that's how that works. We'd probably have to homebrew something. But yeah. You can ask the DM, yes, except I have a feeling I would be the DM in this case. Because I don't know anyone else who has Daggerheart right now. Oh, you need to play and level up to be OP usually. Yeah, exactly. Wait, if that's 200... Does that mean this is 270? Yes, it is. Okay. I was just making sure that I have them all. It would probably have to be like it was a really bad thunderstorm. Normal thunderstorms and lightning storms are usually fine, but for some reason that one time was really, really bad. And he kept attracting stuff closer and closer to the village. Or maybe it wasn't a village. Maybe it was just a community. A town. Perhaps it wasn't a natural thunderstorm. Exactly. Maybe it wasn't natural. Maybe that's the BBEG. Yeah, not a natural thunderstorm. So some guy decided to create a thunderstorm. Villain revenge arc potential. Yeah, perhaps. And he's a Clank, so I don't know if that would change things, but... Maybe he's just trying to find out what that came from because he knows that it's not normal or something, you know. I wouldn't say OP because basically make you a walking bomb, and if your party around you when that electric strike, whole party gonna feel that. Well, yeah, but also if a thunderstorm's happening during a combat, then the combat is done. You know what I mean? I don't know. I love these tokens. Just a bunch of little tiny crystals. You probably can't hear that. Yeah, you can't hear it. Ah. Spreads the damage out so your party can stay at max DPS for longer trust. Yeah, maybe. It could be cool. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna see if they have... If Daggerheart has the fucking PDFs of the character sheets yet. It doesn't look like it. Nowhere obvious. Come on, man. I just want to fill in a PDF. Is it in the FAQ? Is it in the Discord, maybe? Ah. Oh, I like the D4 doubles as both dice and a weapon. Yeah. I prefer coin, it's all or nothing, really. They changed a lot of things since the open beta. I might have to watch the, I think in a week or so, they're gonna... D12s can be passed off as diamonds to short-sighted orcs. Sure, yeah. They don't have the thing. I'm meant to be getting a PDF of the thing at some point. I don't know when. What time is it in? It is 7:13 right now in LA. Maybe at 8 AM? I don't know, man. Hold on. PDF access on release day, May 20th, that's today. You'll receive an email with a link to download your PDF copy of the rulebook. Character sheets, character guides, and simplified cards is available on daggerheart.com to download and print. Where? When? I would have expected it to be midnight, but clearly not. Okay, well, is what it is. We'll leave it there. I won't worry too much about it. But we've made the basics of a character. Midday, maybe? Yeah, maybe. Midday for them, not me. For me, it's midnight. Yeah, different time for everyone, isn't it? Should we make another character? Should we make 2 characters? Oopsies. So I can't lie, I don't understand everything. I'm gonna have to sit down and read the book proper. Also, I need to come up with a name. I need a name. Yeah, exactly, I need a name. Why do you always watch these at midnight? Yeah, why do you always watch these at midnight? Probably because I only stream at midnight for him, but, you know. I love this. Should we make another character? Yeah, because of that, because I'm only streaming at midnight. Whoopsies. Sorry. That'll be changing soon. When I move home back north, I'll likely have to be streaming during the evening, so it'll be different. Content's too peak for sleep, I guess. Exactly. Remember to hydrate. Yes. Remember to hydrate. It's definitely not my real name or anything. Whoopsies. You guys probably already know my real name. Let's look through the rest of the character creation part of the book, because I didn't actually look through the rest of it. Okay, assign character sheet. Okay. You have been doxxed! Yes, your full legal name, Spikerton Elhorn the Dinosaur. Exactly. Drevo means big, marvelous tree. Oh! That is good. I'm stealing that. I'm stealing that. Drevo, in all caps. Drevo. So there we go. We've got Drevo, he, him, Wildborn Clank, Warden of the Elements Druid. Sick. I want to know if I can... Let me look at the level up stuff. How much damage you can before marking hit points. Add your character's level to both values. Okay. Record the total for both numbers in the corresponding fields. Wait, what? Add your character's level to both. Okay. So for armor. Oh shit. I really need to read this properly. Ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba. Okay, there's background stuff, domain stuff. Oh, experiences! Experiences! We haven't looked at experiences yet, lads. Oh my god. So, experiences! Oh my god. Okay. Experiences are super fucking cool. You make them up yourself, and you get a +1 or a +2 to something. Okay. Yeah, Okay. Sorry. Let me just do that. So, we haven't done experiences. I can't believe I've missed this out. In Daggerheart, your character's experiences are one of the core ways you express their backstory and expertise through mechanics. An experience is a word or phrase used to encapsulate a specific set of skills your character has acquired over the course of their exciting life. Your character starts with 2 experiences at character creation, each with a +2 modifier, and they'll earn more throughout your adventures. Before creating experiences, you'll want to have a solid idea of who your character is. The background questions were especially helpful for this. When you're ready, work with your GM to create 2 experiences that have shaped your character. There's no set list of experiences to choose from, though we offer options for inspiration under your experience examples. Instead, find a word or phrase that embodies something distinctive about your character. Each experience should be specific. For example, talented or focused are too broad. as they can be applied to almost any situation. Instead, you might use swashbuckler or magic studies. Additionally, your character's experience can't give them spells or specific game abilities. For example, take flight or one-shot kill are too mechanically oriented. You might consider pilot or assassin instead. You're also encouraged to add flavour to your character's experience to give it more varied use and play. For example, instead of just assassin, you could use assassin of the Sapphire Syndicate. Details like this give your GM an exciting faction to weave into the campaign. Also make it easier to use experience outside combat. If your character encounters an ally of the Syndicate, they might be particularly adept in negotiating with that NPC based on their experience. Once you've decided on your character's 2 starting experience, record them in the experience field of your character sheet and assign +2 to both. Okay. A word or phrase, yeah. Make it a Hollow Knight reference. maybe. Hollowed one. Or something like that, I don't know. Okay. But there's experience examples. I really like the phrases one. Catch me if you can, fake it till you make it, first time's a charm. Hold the line, I won't let you down, I'll catch you, I've got your back, knowledge is power, nature's friend, never again. No one left behind, pick on someone your own size, the show must go on, this is not a negotiation, wolf in sheep's clothing. These are sick phrases. And in Daggerheart, Critical Role, Daggerheart stuff, they did like a... Yeah, that's better, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, they did like a one-shot, it was not one, it wasn't one at all. But they did like a mini series and they had some cool ass experiences. They had one character called Bunny and her thing was weaponizing the male gaze was her phrase, which was so funny. There was one character did sticky hands, which was really cool. So you could use that to grip onto something, or you can use that to make someone uncomfortable when you shake their hand because of grippy hands. Because of sticky hands. So, you know, they can be broad things, just something that you have based on your experience or something. Ay. So, what do we make my 2 experiences? Maybe something like, he was made to sort of make friends with people, and that was his, like, purpose, was to make friends with people, be nice to people, all that jazz. So maybe we do something like easy talker or something like that, where it's easy to talk to him. It's not a hoodie, your outfit gives you buffs. Being struck by lightning, oh my god. Well, that could be one of them. One of them could be lightning adept or something, but... I don't know. Lighten up? Lighten up. But that, I feel like that's too broad. You could apply that to basically anything. How would you use lighten up though? How would you talk to your DM and be like, hey, I want to use my lighten up experience? Because it is relatively broad, but I feel like it's too broad because it could be used for talking to people, but it can also be used in other ways. I don't know. I should try and make... I should make Spike in this. I should make myself. Lighten up, pal, and then set yourself on fire. No! Oh my god, okay. Okay, shit. I don't know. I don't know. I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. If you touch my trees, I'll break your knees. Yes, yes, exactly. Okay, let's look at the background questions, maybe. Oh, they're in the character guide. Shit. We did look at these a little bit. Maybe we'll... Okay. So, background questions. Let's try and answer every single one. Why was the community grew up in so reliant on nature and its creatures? Shit, how do you answer a question like that? Why was it so reliant on nature and its creatures? So, okay, he lived in a forest. It was a relatively large forest community, but he kind of knew everyone. They were reliant on nature and its creatures because they were... my science test questions be like... yeah. Okay, maybe it was... maybe he, like... to compensate lack of complex mechanics. No. Let's say they didn't rely much on technology and that, and they did their best to be friends with the people, the creatures and the people around them. They are very much trying to conserve parts of nature and sort of try and... Let's say maybe they're against the whole thing of like creating massive cities and destroying parts of the environment in order to create these humanoid stuff. And maybe they're very much into sort of using nature as like a give and take sort of thing. So maybe it's not that they're reliant, it's just that they have certain... Maybe because God said so? No, that's boring. Yeah. So maybe it's less that they were reliant and more that they just strongly believed that it was a give and take sort of situation with nature. And because of that, they found that through their friendship with nature and through their friendship with the creatures around them, they're able to actually improve each other's lives. And so the community ends up being a big one of humanoid people who live in holes in the mountainsides, but also of creatures and of sort of practical environmental capitalism. I don't know that it would be capitalism. I think they all just sort of help each other out. It would probably be more I don't know. I don't think it would be capitalism. Yeah, I don't know that it would be capitalism. Well, I guess it would be. Communism? No. I don't know. I guess if it is like a give and take, we'll help you, I'll help you. We'll help you if you help us. I guess it is capitalism, but not using money. So it's not actually using money or anything of it to exchange like that. It's just using favors and word of mouth and stuff like that. More like a utopia. I suppose so. Tit for tat kind of deal where you pay for things by helping someone or stuff like that. Yeah. Favor capitalism. I guess so, maybe. Okay. We got that question. Okay, who was the first wild animal you bonded with? Why did your bond end? So the first one that he bonded with... What's in forests? Maybe a fox. Maybe he bonded with a fox. Birds? No, foxes. Maybe he bonded with a fox. And he... Mantis? Nah, I want a fox. He first bonded with a fox, and the fox started following him around. Maybe he helped out the fox. Mosquito? No. Okay, he helped out the fox one day. It was a baby fox who, maybe that's the thing. Maybe he bonded with this fox. The the fox was a really close friend of his, and he helped him out, and it was a whole thing at the start of its journey. But then maybe he lost his fox friend during the forest fire. So instead of sticking around to sort of help out the place during the forest fire, maybe people didn't die, maybe it was just devastating to nature, and he feels responsible for it, so he wants to go and find his fox friend. Maybe that's what his little thing is. And then it'll be a one-shot about finding the fox friend. Sick. That's what it's gonna be. Who's been trying to hunt you down? What do they want from you? You may get a thing that this animal was with him during that storm, then lightning hit him. Don't need to explain what happened to the poor fox. Back, what did I miss? We are answering background questions. So why was the community grew up and so reliant on nature and its creatures? So, his community, also his name is Drevo. His name's Drevo. One shot, I hear. Yes. So his name is Drevo. My character's name is Drevo. And Foxfinder is a really cool word for some reason. It is, I guess. What does it mean? So my character, Drevo, he lived in this society that had a very close relationship with nature, and they ended up having like a tit for tat sort of thing with nature, and they end up looking after its creatures. Creatures freely roam the part of the forest that these humanoid tribes sort of live in, and they sort of help out a lot with each other, and yeah, providing food, providing protection, that kind of thing. And it's a really cool, like, so nature is reliant on them as much as they're reliant on nature. Not Drevo. No, I'm putting emphasis on the Dre, though, so I don't get why. What? I'm Welsh. That's not gonna work for me. you need to make it make sense in Wales, because that says Drevo. That's what that says to me. That says Drevo. That's what that says. Like, I'm Welsh. You can't use English shit on me to. Okay. Who was the first wild animal you bonded with? Why did your bond end? So I've decided that it's a fox, and his fox friend ends up being really close with him. And during this forest fire that is sort of created by magical... That was the right way to say it. I've been saying Drevo this whole time. That's the same thing. It did work. I said it the same way. What do you mean? I'm well confused. Anyway, so his fox friend, so the one shot is that the fox friend during the forest fire really destroyed a lot of the nature. And the forest fire happened because of a magical guy who's coming after Clanks, I guess? No, I don't want it to be a race thing. So if you encounter fox monsters, they'll be nice to you. Yeah, maybe. But for some reason, fox friend during the forest fire has not been seen, and so the one shot is about Drevo going around trying to find his fox friend. Maybe not. I'm saying the same thing again and again and again, Banana. You what? White paws, scout of the forest, and friend of the trees. Okay, who's been trying to hunt you down? What do they want from you? So this is Lightning Guy. Maybe he's not trying to hunt me down. Maybe he's trying to hunt nature for some reason. Maybe it's some environmentalist story about... First name, Snout Boy. Second name, Fluffy Tail. Snout Boy, Fluffy Tail. Yep. Maybe not was dressed a paladin. Oh, I see. I see. Okay, Who is this person? Maybe the wood that grows here has some special property, which you, having been made from them, also possesses. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, maybe the wood has a special property, or maybe, because clanks are powered by something, right? Maybe clanks are wooden people? My clank is. Clanks can be made out of metal, they can be made out of wood, they can be made out of rocks, they can be made out of anything. But they're always powered by something. They're still mechanical, but they're powered by something magical. So maybe he has like a powerful magical core that people in more technologically advanced cities are trying to get a hold of. Basically sentient golems, pretty much. Okay, so I can have a clank made of Gandalf bones if you want to, yeah. But you do have to make up a reason as to why he was made. And why they were made, so. So maybe it's not the wood that has a magical property. Maybe it's the core that powers me. The core that powers Drevo has like is really, really powerful, and they're trying to get a hold of that. Maybe they thought that by creating this magical lightning thunderstorm, that they thought that they would perhaps be able to destroy Drevo and make him give up the energy core. But he ended up, because of the type of wood he is, he ended up absorbing the energy and ended up burning the forest. Maybe it was just random sorcerer having fun in the woods summoning lightning for no reason. That's boring, though. Yeah, maybe it's some powerful wizard in a more advanced, technologically advanced magical town who has no care for nature at all and wants to get a hold of the magical core within him, within Drevo, in order to power something in his town or in his city. But he couldn't get a hold of it. The energy core can like channel lightning, so they tried to strike him with magical lightning they created so they get control. Maybe? But I imagine it's the wood around him protecting him. I guess that wouldn't make sense if it's causing a forest fire. Maybe, yeah, maybe it uses electricity, right? So they tried to sort of... I don't know. I'll have to workshop it a little bit. I'm not 100% with any of these ideas. But that's the basic idea, I think. Clank made from a needle and sewing supplies with a string cape and spindly arms and legs who rides an otter named Paddletail. Yep. Seems a little weird they tried to kill him by zapping the entire forest with a very inaccurate thunderstorm. Well, no. Better be in the one-shot somewhere. Yeah, of course. Cruel, ruthless, and seeking power sorcerer. That dude's just like me. Yes, exactly, Banana. Exactly. I don't think it was a random thunderstorm. They were attacking specifically the town that he's in, or specifically the tribe that he's a part of. Maybe they did a thunderstorm knowing that he attracts lightning, but they didn't account for the fact that attracting lightning would mean that he was protected from it as well. So they just sort of burnt down this forest, trying to get this thing. What is Daggerheart? It is a TTRPG, a tabletop role-playing game. It was released today, but I got mine 4 days ago. Was the Drevo the only one of this kind? Well, yeah, I said that they made him as an experiment. Just to see if they could. Maybe they only found one of these cores and they were like, oh, we could see if we can use one of these cores to make someone, to make something. And then they made him. He was the only one from that forest. He'll probably find other clanks on his journey, but he was the only one from this forest. I think so, at least. Maybe that tribe holds something that the world only knows from legends that has been overhyped, and now some king in a distant land wants it for some nefarious need. Maybe. If your goal is to kill someone and steal his core, why would you make magic thunderstorm to torch the whole area instead of just sending a rando with a hammer? What do you mean? They make a magic thunderstorm because they want to kill that particular person. Like I said, they want to kill Drevo to get their hands on the core. Maybe they know that the core would attract lightning. So they send a thunderstorm, a magical thunderstorm, over to his specific tribe, using the lightning to find him. Why not hire assassins? I don't know, because that's boring. That's boring, that's why. These guys are evil. They're not going to do everything that makes sense. Because he's a druid, he can hide really well. I mean, he can be any sort of creature because he's a druid. So they use magnetic core to seek him out. Maybe, yeah. I mean, okay, his core is made out of electricity, so maybe they were just like, okay, we don't know where he is, we don't know where in this forest he is. We're gonna send a lightning storm over this entire forest, and where the lightning strikes, that's where he is, because he's attracted to lightning because of it. And then they burn the place down in the process because the lightning doesn't actually destroy his body. Is this like D&D? Yeah, exactly. It's like D&D, but it's a different system, different world, different everything, different rules. But it's exactly like D&D, yeah. So knowing that that lightning is attracted to him, they're using the lightning storm to find him. And then they find him, but in the process, they're burning this place down. And maybe they didn't know he was a druid, so he uses his beast form to run away. Okay, so maybe he uses beast form to run away, and while he's using his beast form to run away, he decides not to go back because he thinks that he's going to put people in danger by going back. So maybe he's not looking for his fox friend. Maybe he just wants to get back to his forest one day after figuring out what happened, after figuring out who it was who was trying to come after him. So maybe the one shot is just finding these people who are trying to find him. So okay, so the nature society that he lives in is a society that is very cut off from everyone else because they have different values. So the outside world uses coins and capitalism, and they don't. They exchange favors, they exchange trade, they don't have a specific coin or something that they exchange. So they were quite isolated, but one of the mages in a nearby technological city he has a dual purpose, fox finding and making it safe for him to return to village. Yeah, I guess. Well, maybe he's not trying to find his fox. Maybe he's just wanting to go home, but feels like it's not. Maybe they don't die in the attack, but because he's a target, he knows the best thing for them is to leave, thus sparking the adventure. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I've returned. What have I missed? We're discussing a lot of backstory stuff at the moment. So no more fox finding. I mean, we'll find the fox when we finish the thing. We could be reunited with our fox. Okay, so maybe one of his experiences then. This is how we got onto this topic. We're discussing experiences. So experiences are like phrases and shit that we can experiences are one of the core ways you express their backstory. An experience is a word or phrase used to encapsulate a specific set of skills your character has acquired over the course of their exciting life. There's no set list of experiences to choose from. Instead, find a word or phrase that embodies something distinctive about your character. So one of them has to be about lightning and about electricity. So maybe, So maybe, so lightning. Lighten up was proposed before. Yeah, but that doesn't make sense. Short circuit, you go into berserk mode. The experiences can't give you new abilities. So, no. I would say the experiences has to be something that would just give you a bonus on another roll. So this lightning stuff would give me advantage, or would give me an additional +2 on rolls to do with like electricity, or rolls to do with thunderstorms and stuff like that. So it'd have to, yeah, it has to just give me ride the storm and start bonking everything. Yeah. Ride the storm could be interesting, but then I feel like that could only apply then to stuff to do with storms. I want it to be able to apply to anything to do with electricity. So, So maybe just something simple like electrically adept. No, that's not a word. Sparks of power? It's a really interesting character because it's a nature druid thing that's also an electric robot. Yeah. So I'll have one experience to do with electricity and I'll have one experience to do with nature. Both electrically and adept are words. Are they actually? I think sparks of power, Josh's suggestion, is more interesting. Sparks of power. Sparks of power. I would have to have a good DM though to be like, yeah, because it has to do with power, so electricity in that sense, and sparks, so I can tell if there's a storm coming. And lightning. Those are 2 words, yes. Yeah. Electrically adept. Sparks of power. I'm leaning more towards Josh's suggestion, but I'm still open to hearing other ones. Just the word charged. Yeah, that could, I mean, yeah. It's not as interesting though. But that does encompass everything. Conduit of the Western Skies. Ooh, going more backstory there. So he would live in the West. I was thinking a more Western area. Forest, maybe a massive forest in the West with a lake in the middle, and he lives more into the forest next to a mountain. Yeah, conduit would make sense as well, because then conduit, the Wales dweller. Lol. That's why I chose it. Sick. I do like the West the most. I can't lie. Conduit of the Western Skies. Yeah, because that's so, man, you're so creative. Let me look up the definition real quick. A tube or trough for protecting electrical wiring. Nice. Thank you, I do a lot of thinking. That's sick. Conduit. Yes! Conduit. Was I at least creative? You were. I was leaning towards yours before Harry said his. Conduit of the Western Skies. That's really good. How do you spell conduit? Conduit of the Western Skies. Does that mean it only works in the West, though? No. Conduit encompasses all the electricity stuff. And then of the Western Skies just means I would also have pluses. Nature could be Earth of my forebearers. Explain how that would be... explain it. Because I think I want my nature one to be... Oh, bye, Paladin. I want mine to be more... forebears. Yes. I want mine to be more to do with, like, being friends with animals. Thinking of cool words, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, obvious one would be, like, nature's friend or something like that, but I don't know. That feels boring. Maybe something more about, like, nature's curiosity or something. And, like, so then if something... So he's a naturally curious person, specifically about nature and animals and all that jazz. So when he's, like, doing anything to do with nature, he would get advantage. Or not advantage, you'd get +2. Nature's curious clank. Is there a C word to do with nature? Creation's curious clank. Creation's curious clank. And that could be his thing of, like, so he's a clank. Obviously that's where the clank comes from. But he's curious about all things to do with creation, and maybe he does follow a god. Maybe he follows the Mother Nature god of the universe, or of that, you know, world. Robot made out of wood that conducts electricity, who's naturally curious towards animals. It's not gonna end well. It doesn't end well. Negotiator of the forest floor. That is a good one. That's a good one. I kind of really like mine, though. How the fuck do you spell creation? Jesus Christ. It's a bit difficult to get all the themes in there, yeah. But by doing Creation's Curious Clank, I can specify to... Maybe there's a god called the Creator that's kind of like the Wild Mother in Critical Role lore, right? And the Creator is just the one who created life. So creation's curious clank. The experience just embodies my character's curiosity for everything that the creator created. So everything to do with nature and animals. It's ironic because he was created, not birthed. Yeah, birthed. Yeah, that's, yeah. I think they get +2 for both of them. You get other ones as you level up, though. Irony, no, he's made of wood. Yeah. All you need is one spellcaster with access to electricity spells. The whole party's gonna have a great barbecue. Okay, there we go. So we've got Conduit of the Western Skies and Creation's Curious Clank. Sick. Okay. Armor, background. We've done all the background stuff. I'll write it out properly outside of stream. Create your experiences. In Daggerheart, yeah, we've done that. Sick. Okay, when one of your character's experiences fits the situation at hand, you can use that experience to showcase their expertise. Before you make an action or reaction roll, you can spend a hope to add the experience's modifier to the roll's result. Sometimes more than one of your character's experience is a good fit for the situation. For example, if your character is trying to seek passive guard in the dark, your I live in the shadows and stealthy experiences would both apply. If it fits the story, you can add more than one experience modifier to the roll, spending a hope for each. Damn. Wait, so you have to use a hope? Okay. Okay, create your connections, and there we go. Sick. And this is an example character, so I'll make my character sheet once I get access to the PDFs, and I'll put it somewhere. On Blue Sky, probably. Okay. Well, I mean, this guy has a dual staff. He's a sorcerer. Maybe I will have a dual staff. My evasion will stay at 10. Oh, sorry. Her. She will. Sick. Sick. That is so cool. Ah! I love this game already, and I haven't even played. I can't wait for them to do their campaign. Oh, Ranger Companion stuff. So maybe instead of fire, we flavor it to be lightning. Because there's no, like, specific, like, magic. It's just magic damage and physical damage. It's not specific. But he's a druid of the elements, so he can basically channel all of the elements. Fire, earth, water, and air. So fire, when an adversary within melee range deals damage to you, they take 1d10 magic damage. So maybe we just flavor that to be lightning instead of fire. So he's fire, water, earth, and... No, it's lightning, earth, water, and air instead. Because the other fire ones, when you get to specialization, when an adversary marks one or more hit points, they must also mark a stress. That makes sense for, you know, that. And then for mastery, you gain a +1 bonus to your proficiency for attacks and spells that deal damage. That makes sense. Again, you know, it's not gonna change things. So maybe instead of fire, we have it be lightning. And he can do the other ones as well, but... Oh, shit. What did I do? Oh. Fine, I didn't do anything. Yeah. The other option is that I could change it to be Warden of Renewal. Because then you get Clarity of Nature. Once per long rest, you can create a space of natural serenity with close range. When you spend a few minutes resting within the space, clear stress equal to your instinct. Distributed as you choose between you and your allies. Unregeneration, touch a creature and spend 3 hope. That creature clears a d4 hit points. I recognize this music. Yeah, it's from Tavern Master. Nah, I think I'll stick with elements just because I really like elements. And it's more, you know, damage dealing. Although damage dealing doesn't make sense with this character. Well, maybe if he was protecting people, if he was protecting animals. Oh, I don't know. I guess Adam uses it. He must do. Oh, do I change to Warden of Renewal? I've made a character that's sort of very humble and shit. Because all this other stuff doesn't make sense. Yeah. I don't know. 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 I don't know what to do. I could be a Warden of Renewal. That would make a bit more sense with his character. Oh, damn it. Let's take another look at the cards. Oh, popcorn stuck in my teeth. Fucking hell. Yeah, because I'm not making a fighter. I'm making someone who's like... I'm basically making FCG. So maybe we do change it. Oh, fuck. We're changing, lads. We're changing it. Warden of Renewal. We're changing it. Warden of Renewal, lads. Fuck. Okay. Let's take another look at the... Arcana cards. Because I think I'll keep the nature cards, but let's look at... Wall Walk or Rune Ward. Okay, Rune Ward is pretty cool. I do not. Oh. Well, I've used it before in my videos and my live streams, so, you know, you might recognize it from me. Okay, well, I'm taking Rune Ward. Okay. We're changing things up. Oh, fucking fuck. So now, do I take Rune Ward instead of Unleash Chaos or instead of Nature's Tongue? I think instead of Unleash Chaos. But then I don't have any spells to attack with. So I still need an answer to the question. Do I need to be casting a spell with my dual staff to do magical damage or not? Can I just... I don't have an answer to that question. Damn it! I'm confused. Okay, well, we're changing things up. Ah! Okay. I don't know. Maybe I can look it up. Maybe people will know by now. Daggerheart, do I have to... I think the magic weapons just work. Yeah, I think... yeah, I think it'll be fine. Someone explained that it's kind of like having cantrips in D&D, where you just have a basic attack. So I think, yeah, we don't have to have a damage-doing spell in order for it to work. Okay, I have to change stuff. Warden of Renewal. Shit, man. Warden of Renewal. Shit! Ah! Damn, and then I've got Rune Ward instead of whatever I had before. Okay, do I want a dual staff or do I want a short staff? I think I want a dual staff. He just found a long stick one day. Maybe one arm just is a staff. No, no. Hold on, I'll plug my headphone back in. I think he just picks up a stick one day. He's a humanoid. He's, you know, he's got 2 legs, 2 arms. And he picked up a stick one day and he's been, or like maybe he found like a really big log that had fallen over and he started carving out this staff and he holds like, he infused it with magic. And maybe it has like, maybe it was hit by lightning. And, yeah, maybe it was hit by lightning and it has like these lightning infusions down it. And it's got, and he carved part of it in the top to hold space for a crystal. And that crystal is his rune ward. And it sort of magically stays in place there and then you can take it out. How put together is this character? Are they made of carved wood all proper or is it like twisted wood with the bark still on? Oh, that's a good question. I'd say he's relatively put together, but still sort of amateurish. They tried doing some stuff. They stripped the bark, that kind of thing. They tried carving it out, but it's quite amateur. So maybe he has like... And he's powered by this magical core that people are looking after, trying to steal. So he's like... So maybe he's got, you know, cracks and dents in places where he probably shouldn't have any. He's not sanded down or anything. He's still quite rough. But maybe his hands, because he uses his hands a lot, maybe that is like... not as rough, maybe a bit smoother. But they tried carving some cool, like, runes or like engravings, but it looks a bit messy, a bit childlike. Maybe it's the first time that this person was making something like this, and I'd say, yeah, a little rudimentary. Maybe not quite as put together as some of the carvings in the rest of the town, but still like, yeah, I'd say maybe a bit rough around the edges, but they tried their best. I think. And maybe over time he's like tried sorting things out himself. Maybe he's tried to smoothen himself out a bit. So maybe he's a bit more put together now than he used to be because he's sort of done maintenance on himself. Yeah. I'd say that. And I'd say his staff is very well made. He made it himself over the course of a couple of years. And for his rune ward, he has a... I'd say it's probably wooden. A wooden thing at the top of his staff that is sort of floating around in the top of his staff using magic. And he infused it with magic himself. I'd say that. Okay. Do you guys see this? It's like... I feel like I need to... It's a bit curved. Weird. Anyway. Let's find the dual staff again and write down its stats. Instinct. Bar. Right. That's the only thing between the dual staff and the quarterstaff. The two main differences is that the short staff is in close distance, dual staff is far, and the short staff is one-handed, whereas the dual staff is two-handed. Close isn't melee though, so... What are the other options that I could have for secondary weapons? Although it's not very close. Close and very close are different. I don't want him to have a shield. Although I could have a grappler or a whip. Not a whip. I wouldn't do a whip. Maybe a grappler. On a successful attack, you can pull the target into melee range. That wouldn't do anything for him, though. No, I'm going to use the dual staff, I think. I'm going to use the dual staff. D6 plus 3 magic. So it is D6 plus 3 magic. It is bar range, and it is two-handed. Sick. I'd say also he probably like grows things out of his wood using, you know, him. I'd say he's more naturey than put together. Tired now. Okay. Okay. I like my little character. I think he's so cute. I think he's adorable. This is so cool. Maybe using his staff, all of his magic is lightning based. Because it's based on his magical core. Maybe he gets his magic from his magical core. And that's how he's able to infuse his staff. Oh, I love this. I love this little guy. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. I think we're done. I've made Drevo. He is a Warden of Renewal, Wildborn Clank. He has the spell Rune Ward and the ability Nature's Tongue. He is a Clank who was created as an experiment after they found a magical core randomly in the forest one day. And when he was created successfully, he asked what his purpose was, and he was told that his purpose was to live and be a part of the forest and the forest tribes that exists there, and to help people as much as possible. And so he learnt as much as he could about magic and about the magical core that runs him, and he learnt healing magic to help people. And he befriended a fox and many other creatures. But one day, a powerful wizard came after him, looking for his core. And so they sent a magical thunderstorm over his entire forest looking for him. Knowing that he would be drawn to electricity, or that electricity would be drawn to him, they made it so that the magical lightning would only hit him when it detected him near. And so he got hit by lightning. But because of his nature and because of the way that his magic works, he absorbed all of it, and it burst out and created a gigantic forest fire. In an attempt to keep his people safe, he ran away and from his forest and away from everything, and decided to go on a journey to find out who was coming after him and why they decided to try and look for him, and why they just tried to destroy him. And that is the journey that he is on. I love this character. Holy shit. Ah! I love him. I want to play him so bad. Adam, you need to buy Daggerheart. You need to buy Daggerheart right now. And you need to make this game for me. You need to make this one shot or something. Oh, I love him. I'm in love with him. I'm gonna write some short stories with him in it. I love these cards. They're so cool. Girl, I can barely run D&D. Okay, fine. Fine. I'll have to find another DM. Oh man, I love him. He's gonna be a character you can DM? Yeah, but then I can't play Drevo. I want to play Drevo. But no, maybe I will DM. Maybe I'll DM, and then Drevo can be an NPC. I indicate how the game works. I'll have to look. Yeah, it is different, to be fair. You don't actually have to. I'm happy enough with Flynn and D&D. But I love this little guy. I love him. Oh, I'm in love with him. I love him. Okay. That is it. That's it for the stream. I'm gonna go write some short stories now. Actually, while we're here, it's gone 8 AM, so maybe do they not have the character sheet PDFs still? No. Okay, what time is it in LA? Just gone 8. Okay. Maybe it is midday it'll come out. One shot could be cool if the story making's similar. Yeah? Maybe, maybe I make a one shot about trying to find this guy. Yeah, and I can play Drevo just as an NPC. Damn. I'll have to watch someone else play it first, though. I learn by watching people do things. Ah, sick. Maybe I'll make a one-shot in time for my birthday, and then we can do a Daggerheart one-shot for my birthday. In person. That'd be sick. Man. I have popcorn stuck in my teeth. Okay. Okay, at some point when we get the... Oh, hell yeah. Yeah! That'd be sick. And I can play Drevo as an NPC. Sick. Oopsies. Alright, I'm gonna go put this in a folder. I'm gonna go search for D&D. Well, no, I'm gonna search for Daggerheart stuff. Oh my gosh. I love this. It's so good. Do you get cards with the regular Daggerheart set? You do! Sick. So the cards are an actual integral part of the gameplay. Sick. Nice. I love it. Oh my gosh, okay. I'm gonna go do other stuff now, while I'm brain rotting my own character. I hope you enjoyed the stream. This was so fun. I really enjoyed myself. I don't know how much you guys saw or was actually able to follow along. A lot of it was just me sat in silence reading, trying to make sense of things. But this was really fun, and maybe we can record our session when it eventually happens. In some way. I heard that you can actually use Roll20 for Daggerheart, so maybe I'll look into that. But yes, I made Drevo. Oh, I love him so much. I love him so much. I'm in love with him. Oh my god. I'm in love with him. Okay. Well, that's a 3-hour session of me just making my character. I'm gonna go write the backstory out and put him in my folder. I'll put him in the same folder as Flynn. Yeah, I'll do that. Same oh, shit. I'll put him in the same folder as Flynn. I'll just have all my characters in one. But yeah. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. My name's Spike. I'm definitely a dinosaur. That's embarrassing. You actually saw me do a salute. I do that every time. Whoopsies. Anyway. I will see you guys. Oh, wait, I need to do it here. I will see you guys when I see you. This was so fun. I enjoyed myself a lot. I hope you guys did too. I'll commission some art of my wood. A wooden clank. Wooden of renewal clank. Oh, I love him. I'm gonna commission some art and I will show you guys. Bye! Oh, speaking of art, I hope you like my new guy. My new guy, like I'm a guy. No, I hope you like her. I think she's really cool, and I'm still in talks with the artist, so to fix like 1 or 2 things on one of the other things. So yeah, but I hope you guys enjoy everything. I will be back. I won't stream tomorrow. I'm gonna try and edit tomorrow. Instead, I will be back on Thursday. Maybe a Thursday night stream. Those tend to do better than Thursday mornings. Or afternoons. Okay. My name's Spike. I'm definitely a dinosaur. I will see you guys when I see you. Bye!